oríṣiríṣi apple ló wà lórí fóònù báyìí pé nǹkan wá ṣe apple fáwọn ọlọ́kadà so gbogbo táwa máa dúró sí ojú ọ̀nà táwa máa dúró gbé èrò kò sí yẹn mọ́ o kò sí yẹn mọ́. ìjọba ṣe kí ni. ọmọ abáyàn ọ̀kadà ó tẹ̀ sí sún mi báyìí. láíláí ìbọn náà fẹ́. láíláí wọ́n lè rí ṣe. kí ló fẹ́ kọ́lọ́kadà jẹ. ó sọ èmi náà. ọlọ́kadà ò ní ṣiṣẹ́ mọ́ kò ṣeé ṣe. Oga, don't tell me.
Just carry me go outside. My house.
Oga, they don't ban Okada, I beg.
I'm a stormy sea, I let all my water. I let all my water. Let's go up and down and down. Let's go up.
It is not our job to intimidate and harass people. People should feel safe and protected around us.
Freedom Way had legs and flew to the ends of the earth in 2024. It had its world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, graced several more screens, and capped it up with a win at the AMVCA 2024, taking home the prizes for Best Writing and Best Movie. That last one shocked many, especially since most people hadn't seen the film at the time. Well, that's about to change now that Freedom Way is finally headed to cinemas come July 18, 2025. Freedom Way is the brainchild of the incredible talents at Bluhouse Studios, led by Blessing Uzzi. It is directed by Afolabi Olalekan, who has said that part of the story was inspired by his real-life experience with police harassment and brutality. The scenario sounds all too familiar to the average young person in this country, regardless of social standing. Incidents like these were the backbone of the End SARS protest of 2020, and it's heartbreaking that nearly 5 years later, nothing has truly changed. This film tells the story in a fictionalized setting, but the truths it holds are very, very real. After years of hard work, software developers Temba, played by Jesse Suntele, and Tayo, played by Ogranya Jable, finally launched their highly anticipated app, EasyGo, a rideshare platform that connects Lagos motorcyclists with customers. But the joy of their successful launch quickly turns into despair when they are hit with the harsh realities of doing business in Nigeria. Unfavorable laws, unpredictable regulations, and the ever-looming threat of police brutality. The trailer opens with a shot of Abiola brought to life by Debo Adebayo, aka Mr. Macaroni. Like the film's director, Debo has had his own fair share of police brutality and has since become known as a thorn in the flesh of corrupt officials. In the trailer, we see Abiola celebrating with his wife, played by Tangwa, and their daughter. I believe the occasion is the launch of the new app EasyGo, one Abiola believes will finally change the lives of Okada riders like himself. We won't have to wait endlessly for passengers again, he says excitedly to his skeptical wife, who I think isn't exactly grasping what he's saying. It's the whole novelty. This moment mirrors what many of us felt during the arrival of apps like Okada and O-Ride at the end of the last decade. With that short-lived boom still fresh in our minds, Freedom Way immediately taps into a collective sense of optimism that we now know is doomed to sour. That optimism these characters feel starts to shatter almost immediately when, like in real life, the government abruptly announces a total ban of Okadas from highways. And just like that, millions of daily incomes are erased. Families like Abiola's are thrown into crisis, and inventors like Temba and Tayo are left scrambling to explain to their backers how everything fell apart despite their political networking. From here, the trailer shows us where these intersecting lives begin to spiral. Abiola runs into some dreaded officers around what looks like Marina CMS axis of Lagos, and one of them, played by Femi Jacobs, is a textbook trigger-happy Olopa. He cocks his gun at Abiola, and while we hear a gunshot, I'm not exactly sure it's meant for that moment. My guess it's a misdirect, the sound pulled from another scene just to stir tension. But it is still scary having to see a gun cocked in front of you. Temba, Tayo, and Mike Afolabi's character, whose name we don't know yet, all seem to end up on the wrong end of police officers. And based on the patterns we've seen in real life, it could be very well the same notorious squad harassing all of them. Even within the force, certain units are infamously known for their unchecked brutality. Bimbo Akintola's character appears to be a superior officer to Femi's, but instead of putting him in check, she seems more interested in giving we the audience this polished press conference-like statement. It's just for the optics. We've seen this happen time and time again. Then comes the trailer's money shot for me. Abiola, we see him from his casual clothing, now dressed as a police officer. The image is jarring, it's an absolute gut punch, and immediately raises a million questions. How did he get here? Is this survival, revenge, infiltration, a dream? Whatever it is a powerful shot. and I think it will be a turning point in the film. If you can't beat them, just join them. There's almost never a smoke without fire, and if Freedom Way has been getting this much critical praise both locally and internationally, then there's definitely something there. This trailer, cut specifically for its Nigerian theatrical run, paints a picture that blends hope, despair, resistance, and survival in equal measure. The cinematography and production quality are crisp, just as I've come to expect from Bluhouse. I haven't seen enough to judge performances in full, but I've seen just enough to know that we're in good hands. Everyone seems to know what they are doing on screen. At its core, Freedom Way feels like it was stitched together from 1,000 real-life stories. It might be fictional, but it feels very real. And that gives it a burden of truth, a responsibility to reflect what the Nigerian youth has faced and still faces up to this very day. This story cannot afford to miss. Tell me what you think about this trailer, and what you think about my thoughts as well in the comments. Will you be watching when Freedom Way hits cinemas on July 18? Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.